1 2 2 1 2. Hello, hello. Hello, all the tiny people. Ah, you can't hear that at all? Huh? Advanced audio. No. How about now? Hey! I pressed the correct button, which is, I'm sure you'll agree, shows some progress. Thank you very much to my incredible secret woman, secretly lurking behind the scenes, making sure that it's not an entire disaster. So hello everybody, I'm trying to set up a live streaming style setup, which requires literally hours of work and research and study. This is as far as I've got so far. As you can see, I'm streaming, which is a start, but it's got to look good and it's got to sound good. So basically David Shannon says I've got to try harder, and you got kind of aggressive and a little bit sort of scary. So you wouldn't expect it from Shannon. He's seems quite nice when you watch his stuff, but behind the scenes he can get a little bit. So I'm going to try and build things as I go, and hopefully there'll be some vague fun for you watching me build them. So the point of this is I'd quite like to start streaming video games. I stopped playing video games generally in about 2002, maybe 2001, just in a vague attempt to get more done, which I think I probably have, but I think about video games at least once or twice every hour, something like that. So it's been a long, what are we talking about, 19 years or something? It's no way to live, is it? Just constantly thinking about Final Fantasy X every couple of hours when you're trying to do stuff. So I thought I'd try and combine my two main loves, which are music and video games. So we are building music for the stream starting now screen of my secret gaming channel that so far doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but it's literally just about 2.5 hours of footage of me looking confused at something just vaguely out of shot, which is probably OBS, which is the software everybody who's even vaguely serious about streaming uses. So without further ados, this is what I've got so far. So it's just a little drum beat, which is coming from Addictive Drums, literally just a stock thing. I'm going to stop trying to build all of my drum beats and patterns from scratch because I became obsessed with it when I was in my teens. I thought, right, everything has to be created from scratch, from the ground up, by me. If I can record the drums, brilliant, but if I have to work with samples, then I'm at least going to build every beat and pattern myself using samples from the ground up. So I would spend hours and hours coming up with something that at the end of the day didn't sound anywhere near as good as a sort of professionally recorded loop. I mean, this has been played by a drummer in a room that's designed to record drums in, using professional samples or professionally recorded samples, playing with mallets. I mean, it's entirely possible that I could come up with something like that myself eventually, but it would take at least the length of this stream, if not probably a month or two, just to trial and error, getting things progressively less rubbish. Anyway, so there's that, and there's also Addictive Keys running a little Rhodes style thing, just a dead simple 2-chord. I think that's a D major 7 to an A, just that. So the whole piece is going to be a minute, maybe 2 minutes long, dead simple kind of ambient feel to it, and it will just loop, and I'll just play that for 10 minutes or so while I'm getting ready to stream. That's the theory anyway. And then of course a little bit of harmonica in the background, which sounds kind of eerie and a little bit ethereal. Loads of reverb. Dry mix is completely out, so you're just hearing the reverb. And it sounds sort of, I mean, there's always something a little bit kind of country and western about a harmonica. You kind of can't get away from that. But it's sort of appropriate in this case because the game that I'm hoping to start with, one of a few games that are actually available to me since I switched from Windows to Mac. My entire Steam library's just been decimated. There's about 40% of the games that I've bought in the past actually work with Mac, and only about 60 or 70% of those games work with Catalina. So cheers, Steve Jobs. But Borderlands 2 is one of the ones that should actually run. So I'm creating this specifically to stream that game. So it'll be Borderlands 2 stream starting soon, and this will be the music that you hear. Sounds quite nice. Isn't that a lot of fun? So this is my streaming setup. I've also got stuff that I can just knock off the desk whenever I need to. Keys there, that's good fun. It's quite a professional high-end setup, as you can see. So tiny little bit of piano, maybe a sort of answering phrase to that harmonica. Oh, I've got tea as well, I forgot. That's my band. Hello, a lot distance. No, I want to keep it really simple, not try and play anything well or be flash or have to learn scales or anything like that. I've managed to avoid that for years. So let's not start with all that stuff now. What do you think? Piano? Little bit of piano. Addictive Keys, good old Addictive Keys. Modern upright. That'll do. Oh, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. 2 2 2 2. Yes. MIDI. That. MIDI input. Okay. Gotta figure out why it's not. I see. That's the first chord, I think. What about that? And then the next chord is about that. Does that work? Let's try it. Record. Actually record though for actual reels. Bitch, motherfucker. Oh, hang on. Apart from the obvious cock-ups, that was sort of vaguely alright. Rename. Piano chart odds. Save. Hey, now then. Oh no, sorry. Sorry, John, it's not quite. I did consider going back to Final Fantasy X because I don't think I finished it. But I had a little look on Steam, and I can't remember whether it was the fact that it wouldn't run on my Mac or the fact that it was about 18 quid for the remaster Final Fantasy X and X2, which I'm not entirely sure about X2 anyway, are you? Oh, hang on, that doesn't work at all, does it? Balls. Somebody just shot a dog. Alright, well, what if it started there then? What if it didn't go, but instead went doo-doo. Oh, hang on, no, it's not supposed to start there at all, is it? That's bollocks. Yeah, I stopped. I think I was pretty close to the end. It was certainly at that point where you're basically a god and there's no challenge anymore. And I think that's one of the reasons that I stopped gaming in general, was because I was, I was treating it kind of like a job, like a a second job or just a job. I think I was just out of college when I finally stopped, and I just used to. I remember when I got Final Fantasy VIII, and I think I was about halfway to. I must have been about level 40 or 50 before I left that initial compound where you have the option to run around and grind and fight T-Rexes and stuff. And I just got so much enjoyment out of leveling up the characters and building up stats and stuff that I just sat for hours and hours and hours grinding and loving every second of it. And then finally thought, okay, well, I'll see what the rest of the game has to offer, the rest of the story has to offer. And there was kind of no challenge. Beautiful story and beautifully made, and obviously I still finished it. But I think that was the first point where I realised actually I might be approaching this stuff all wrong. I might be trying to be so good at games that games stop being games anymore and they start kind of becoming something else. I mean, obviously I made it all the way through Final Fantasy VIII. Skipped 9 because I think I was on the PS2 by the time 9 came out. I think I still had my PS1, but for some reason I didn't go for it, which is odd because I'm probably more into the fantasy kind of sorcery and dragons style of RPG than I am the kind of vaguely cyberpunk thing that they started with Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't look at that. I think I was just enamored with the PS2 more than the PS1. So yeah, and then got into 10, got fairly heavily into it, was deeply pissed off by the sports underwater football thing as a mini game. And yeah, at some point I think I just stopped. I vaguely remember it being around the point where you had a bunch of stegosauruses to fight on a beach somewhere. That may have been fairly early on. But anyway, the point is that I'm going to get back into it, and I'm going to get back into it for your viewing pleasure. So if you would like to join me on Twitch, well, don't yet, because it's rubbish. Like, I literally don't have a clue what I'm doing. That sort of works, doesn't it? That's vaguely nice. Clever people know about a thing called quantize, which takes all of the notes that you played wrong and puts them where they should be if they were played by someone who could play them right. But I mean, I find you should just pretend to prefer the slightly wrong. Just say things like, oh yeah, it sounds more human though when you don't quantize it, and then you don't even have to learn how that works. Cheers, man. Oh, you like the Blitzball thing, did you? Oh, now then. You toss wagon. Right, hang on. I'm lost now. I don't even know why I attempted that note. Let's listen from the beginning. Stop putting me off. It's far too loud, isn't it? Right, okay, so yeah, so I'm trying to sort of vaguely echo that. should have gone to that note there and probably just held it. But I didn't, you see, because, you know, notes on a keyboard are literally just a mystery. Press them, see how it sounds. If it sounds rubbish, press a different one. Those are the rules. And then that doesn't sound very good, that last harmonica thing, does it? Sorry, Mrs. Kilday. I'm sorry that your man woke you. So, I don't know, maybe that could be the entire sort of first minute, or what, 40 seconds is it? Are exactly the same velocity, which I assume means that this Keystation Mini 32 isn't touch sensitive, but I could have sworn it was. Anyway, I can just adjust them manually. Be less notes. Boom, 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 boom. That's nicer, isn't it? That's better. Just a little bit, just take it down a little bit. So are you, what are you watching on, John? Are you on your computer or are you on your, I want to say PlayStation? You'll be a PlayStation guy, won't you? Hey, nice. Yeah, I want it to sound just sort of, just to be something that's there in the background. It's not too intrusive, doesn't require a lot of attention, and hopefully can just loop nicely in the background while I am putting my knickers on, getting ready to stream. Yeah, and that one in the middle can be really loud, like it's just been played by a guy who's really fat-handed. Cool, that'll do. That will do. Frequencies away. actually on your phone. Oh, nice. She's commandeered the TV. Misfits. Isn't that the thing about the sort of youthful superhero types? Or is that something else? Am I getting confused there? It's a sort of vaguely mutants type thing, isn't it? I seem to remember starting it and kind of getting sidetracked. Okay, so reverb makes everything nicer. Concert hall, Sydney. So shall we stick the piano over on the right? Huh? Isn't that? Ew. I might leave it in. I might leave it in so people go, you know, there's a bit in that bit of music that goes, and I'll be like, yeah, it's my favourite bit. And they'll be like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's mine too. Yeah, definitely. Misfits is the probation kids who get powers, but they're crappy powers. First 3 seasons of pure gold. Ah, bless you, sir. You. Hey. Oh. Well. I mean, thanks for the warning. I won't bother. I won't bother starting if the ending's not up to snuff. I'm trying to think recently, actually, if there are. What are the things where you could quite safely say to someone, start watching this, and you absolutely will not end it disappointed? I know ever since the whole Lost thing, which I was watching it online, not necessarily through reputable sources, and I couldn't find something like episode 7 or whatever, so I watched 1 to 6 and then couldn't find 7. I thought, well, I'll just go to episode 8. It was like a completely different show. It was like I'd missed, I don't know, 4 seasons worth of stuff. So I just thought, okay, we obviously can't watch it that way. You can't skip episodes willy-nilly. So I'll just stop there and come back to it when I've managed to find the episode that I missed. But I never did, and I never went back to it. And then before I know it, everybody's up in arms and trying to burn down the studio because they got the ending wrong. So I just thought, oh, kind of dodged a bullet there. That's good. Oh, Breaking Bad, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose, well, we're still in the middle of Better Call Saul, aren't we? But it's looking good. It hasn't really dropped in quality as far as I can tell. Was there a series of Breaking Bad that was less good than the rest? It felt a bit weird to me when they were in the houses. They were sort of putting up, plastic around houses, and they'd set themselves up as like a front for like a pest control thing. There was something about that series that felt slightly different or slightly off. Maybe it was because it just started getting bigger and more expansive. But then I suppose that's true of the whole Gus Fring thing, isn't it? God, yeah, poor Kimmy. Christ knows. I mean, it's going to break our hearts, isn't it? Whatever becomes of that girl is going to be absolutely heartbreaking. Ending was particularly bad for Lost. Breaking Bad's ending. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, no spoilers. Good call, Johnny boy. Maybe it's because, without wanting to give too much away, maybe that's because Breaking Bad didn't end in a sort of global or galactic proportion. It was a fairly ends with a bang, not a whimper, not a bang. Yeah, it still haunts me a little bit, that ending. Maybe that could go up an octave. Can you do that with MIDI thingies? Item properties. If I just bang that up 12 semitones, will it just play those MIDI notes at a higher octave? I'm touching myself later. That's nice. Buffy 5. Ah, now then. Hang on. This is that breath at the end. Are you going? Can you hear that? Thumb. Yes. So, Buffy 5, is that? I'm pretty sure that Buffy 5 was the last great Buffy series. Is that the one with the three guys, her nemesis? It was a kind of comedic series, loads of laughs and loads of kind of really silly things. Or is it the one where Willow goes evil? Yeah, again, I can only apologise, Paula. This is the way it's going to be from now on. I'm just going to speak my mind. I've been polite for my whole life, but I am touching myself tonight. It's because of that. It's because of that piano there, specifically this bit. Buffy. What? Oh, okay. Buffy is 5-star. Yeah, yeah, they were awesome. I stopped. I started losing interest at the point where, was it Gloria? The big, all-powerful, godlike thing. I'm pretty sure that was the series after Willow was the big bad. And I'm pretty sure Willow was close to ending the universe. So I kind of thought, right, so this is the point where they've got to go one of two ways. They've either got to find an even bigger villain, and we just go bigger and bigger every time, which kind of is diminishing returns, or they've got to go the other way. And I think they went the bigger villain way. And was that the episode where her sister suddenly appeared out of nowhere in a very, very strange move that wasn't entirely satisfactorily explained, for me anyway? It's a vaguely alternate reality. Is there something I'm missing there? Is there some more significance than I realised at the time? I mean, I must have been, when was Buffy on? Like mid-90s? Early 90s? So I must have been about 14 or something. When was Buffy the Vampire Slayer on TV in the UK? I've got to use my eyes now, have I? Welcome to the friggin' future. Oh, see, that's just endless sight saying Buffy the Vampire's coming back to TV. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I asked. Not even close. Technology. Yeah, villain of the week. Like it. Like it. Now that sounds sort of vaguely nice, doesn't it? Do you think that's a little bit overbearing, that piano rods and nice rods? Let's give it a little bit of EQ and take out. It's all center free. It's all mid frequencies, isn't it? Just take down the. Slightly less oppressive. Okay, so let's say that that's enough for the first time round, and then the second time round we'll do exactly the same thing but add a little bit of, maybe a bit of acoustic guitar or something. Summit. Copy. Are we lined up? Bosh. Thing just starts again. Right. I realised earlier today that I've been wearing my headphones the wrong way around for about two weeks. When I tried to pan something to the left and it went to the right, and my brain melted, slightly melted. Right, this is going to be tricky because normally the guitar would be there, but maybe it'll sound nice and roomy. Nice, yeah. Well, I was hoping that there may be some value in actually just doing, because we spend hours of our lives doing stuff like this, and the point of it is, we'll work really hard, we'll make the thing really good, and then we'll show everybody the thing, and they'll all be like, oh, that's amazing. But it's rarely the case. I mean, I think we're maybe getting about 100 views or something in the first week or so, and that's spending literally days creating what we think is really good, video content, music videos and stuff. So we're starting to kind of realize, actually, maybe people just want to hang out and shoot the shit, and stuff like this can just be something that fills in the gaps. So, meh. See, this is where it'd be good to know things like scales. Just play it a noodle. Noodle! simple like that. Let's try that. It doesn't have to be much, it just has to be texture, doesn't it? Hang on, set up a new track to record. See, I'm still getting my head around using Reaper. It's a voice. Way now then. Shush now. 2 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, you play chopsticks over this, and I mean, we'll just put that out as it is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, chopsticks. Oh, easy, tiger. What was I doing? Let's do that. Point it vaguely at the mic. My mate Cecily would be ashamed of that. She'd be like, "Oh, you asshole. You fucking asshole, man. You gotta try harder." Okay, so we'll call that. See, it's quite dangerous, I think, as well, doing a huge amount of stuff digitally like this, because what I just played then was quite bad, and in a few minutes it's not going to sound bad at all. So it's really important to remember how bad you were in real life, otherwise you could start to convince yourself that yeah, that's how I play it. No, it's not. It's not. You should be ashamed of yourself. Point it vaguely at the mic. Cheat. Just cheat. Do you want to record that bit again? No. No, I'm just going to cheat. Bodo. Cheat, but don't make it sound like too good. Don't make it sound better than you could if you practiced. Sure about that? Cheat. Cocked it up, didn't you? Dude, are you fucking this up? Let's borrow that. He plays really well, doesn't he? No. That was almost acceptable, that. Borderline impressive. Okie doke. yeah. I mean, I've lived by that my whole life, and I haven't died yet. So there's got to be something in it, hasn't there? Like horoscopes and that. People that believe in them, they're still alive, aren't they? So they can't be entirely full of shite. I've been watching a gamer called Ryuka. Are you aware of that guy? He plays a lot of Mario Maker, and he's been doing a bit of Dark Souls and stuff recently. And I noticed that around 2018, first quarter of 2018, suddenly stopped swearing on his stream. And I just wonder if that was the cause or as a result of a spike in his popularity, because he's fucking huge now. I wonder if somebody just sidled up to him and went, you know, you can double your revenue if you stop effing and jeffing. And he went, oh really? I'll consider it. This is how he talks. Point it vaguely at the mic. You might think that I'm an idiot, but I'm going to keep that, because we need a little bit of something right at the end to differentiate the second time round from the first. It's like Fatboy Slim says, you come up with something catchy and then you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then you repeat it in a slightly different way for as long as you possibly can until people start to get really bored, and then you just find a completely different way to repeat it for the same amount of time. Everything sounds dry and horrible. Let's do a little bit of control and excitement. Compress the piss out of it. I'm a little bit concerned about that fret noise, but we'll see once it's reverbed up to Freg. Point it vaguely at the mic. Yeah, I mean, it probably won't be that explicit, but yeah, there's definitely a use for that. Acoustic. What was that? Piano? Harp and rojodes, just so I don't get confused, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks, that's about the limit of my attention span. Yeah, how's your stream coming along, by the way, John? Is it Counter-Strike that you play most? Or was that an old thing? I seem to remember you saying that was from like back in the day, you know. Blah, 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 blah. Crazy loud. Sort of alright, isn't it? I think that's going to become my catchphrase. It's sort of alright, isn't it? Taking a back seat. Of course, yeah. How's she doing? Is she still sore? That probably requires a little bit of explanation, that. Cool. Point it vaguely at the mic. It's starting to really like it. Starting to become my favourite bit. Is that the K of Mike? Mike. Do you want to stop? You want to stop doing that? I take that down. Point it vaguely at the mic. Maybe we could just hide it in there so that only you and me know it's there. And to everyone else it just sounds like a vague sort of ambient mess. And maybe the game could be seeing how clear we can make it before someone goes, is that a mistake? Was there someone suggesting that you point it vaguely at the mic? And what specifically is it? Point it vaguely at the mic. Point it vaguely. Okay, right, hang on. Point it vaguely at the mic. Maybe that's the perfect place for it. So, I know that you can loop media sources in OBS, but I don't know whether they loop absolutely seamlessly. So if I want this to be like a seamless loop of the same piece of music, I should probably just copy and paste it for 20 minutes here, shouldn't I? Let's just see whether that loops cleanly. Point it vaguely at the mic. That should probably be on its own track with a little bit of point it vaguely at the mic. That's upsetting. Oh, that's it with just reverb, that specific reverb. I mean, it's not funny anymore. Point it vaguely at the mic. Point it vaguely at the mic. It is important to point it at least vaguely at the mic. It sounds better in the long run. Point it vaguely at the mic. I wonder if we could get away with the dry signal being that quiet and then the reverb just washing in. Whether it would sound like a deliberate choice rather than a buffoon messing about. Little bits of Final Fantasy X. Division 2 and Rubbish with Danny. Nice. It's good to hear. Bless her. Yeah, it's quite a hell of a painful thing as well, isn't it? And quite an invasive operation. Still, she's on the mend now, and that is all that that's mostly all that matters. That and the COVID thing. Oh no, I'm going to get demonetized for that. Don't say it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Point it vaguely at the mic. Point it vaguely at the mic. it's supposed to be funny, and I think out of context, out of this context, I might be pushing it a little bit to leave it in, but it's vaguely like I want that. Oh, hang on. I fucked up. It's not supposed to be on that track. That's why it sounds weird. And this one here should also. Let's bring it in a tiny little bit earlier. Teeny weeny bit. No, it's got to be earlier than that, hasn't it? Otherwise, it sounds obvious and too much like I'm trying to draw attention to it. Sounds vaguely spooky, doesn't it? So that is 6.5 minutes. Should we just double it for safety? 6.5 minutes. 12 minutes. That's going to be long enough, isn't it, to trim your nasal hair and stuff. Hey, hello, Greg. How you doing, buddy? You join us at the denouement of this little experiment, which is me trying to come up with some kind of vaguely ambient background music that's not too intrusive. Glad to hear it, my friend. What have you been up to? Anything good? Yeah. That is the sum total of my high school French there. I've used it all up in the first 30 seconds. How does this sound to you, Greg? It's just supposed to be sort of low level, vaguely ambient. I think potentially the drums could come down a little bit, but then everything else has got to come down, hasn't it? Sound good? Cool. I'm hoping you came in at a point after. Nice. Thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, just trying to keep it simple. Not try and do too much and just let it. Do you know what though? Having said that, that's fairly sort of acoustic sounding, isn't it? I think it'd be quite nice if there was something just very low level underneath everything that was a bit synthy, a little bit. Let's see if we can come up with something like that. No, not today. Not today. Let's do addictive keys, and let's just do Mark 1. That will do it. Record. Hey, now then. Input MIDI. All channels. Ooh. I wonder why that's got effects on it already. Anyway, sounds good. It sort of doesn't matter what sound I start with because we're going to process the hell out of it. Is there a note that would fit across everything? Don't sound rubbish though. Do it, but don't sound rubbish. Those are the rules. Yeah, cool. Oh, that's almost exactly the kind of mood that I was trying to evoke. So that is good news. What a vibrant imagination you have, young man. How do I get rid of that overdrive? Hang on. It's coming to me. It's not though, is it? Where is the overdrive effects? I am confused. Can all the addictive keys experts please flood the chat? Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it'd be simpler to just choose a different sound. Just click the right button in the first place and you can save all that embarrassment. Did all that in front of real people and everything. Shush now, though. Shush. Shh. Calm. Is it me, or is that delay timed perfectly to the tempo as well? Awfully clever, aren't they, computers? Oh yeah, Greg, meet John. John, Greg. Hands across the ocean. Whee! Oh, it sort of pans left and right as well. You probably won't hear it unless you're on headphones. But it does sort of decay a little bit after a while. Might be enough though. It might be enough. I'm just going to play it. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, the joke's on you, see, because I didn't even press record. Record. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, cool. Sounds weird, I like it. Should I just play this for 12 minutes? No, I'll go up to the last one. E. Synthy. Choppy, choppy. Choppy, choppy. So I should be able to get away with just thumb. Sounds strange, doesn't it? I think I like it though. Strange in a good way. There is a way in these Pro Q filter, what are they called? Pro something? The Fab Filter plugins to kind of see at a glance what frequencies are competing with what. But I'm not entirely sure how it works. It shows you sort of little red bands in the frequency spectrum where there are clashes and conflicts. But I haven't quite figured out exactly how to figure out what it is I'm seeing. But I think that's kind of more like what I had in my head. Although it decays a lot faster now, doesn't it? I like that sort of 16th. That's weird. Well, I know there's a flange effect that comes with Reaper, so where in the frig is it? There it is. It's fine, panic over. Don't know why you were so worried. Any idea why that sounds like ass? Is that my lack of understanding? Probably, isn't it? I want it to go. Maybe I could just do it with EQ. Hang on. Hua hua. I wish I knew more about Reaper. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Greg. Really appreciate it. Take care, my friend. And I'll speak to you soon. Have a good night. Yeah, okay. So, Wawa ain't working. could do is I could grab hold of the band 1 frequency for the EQ. No, it's not going to be band 1, is it? It's going to be whatever the low cut is, that one there. What band are you? 3? The last one, basically. Oh, I hate my life. Get rid of that. Do you want to make it a little bit more difficult to navigate than that? Because that's a little bit easy, to be honest. Band 3 frequency. Is that right? Hey! There it is. Right, I'm literally just going to fudge it. I'm going to fudge it by doing that. It's a sort of kind of snake, which is, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But then end exactly where you started, so that they don't notice when it loops. Do you understand me? Can you hear that as well? Very strange. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's Reaper being far too customizable. It goes, here's everything that makes up this program. Now you decide how it works. Well, there are some things that I'd like to be spoon-fed with. Like, for example, if I've only got 3 bands in my EQ, maybe don't show me options for up to 30 bands and make me sift through them like an arse in front of real people. Okay, well, I think we're probably there now. That is more or less what I was thinking of. So there's a little bit of original music that I can use on my live stream when I'm about to go live, when I want to put up a little thing saying stream beginning soon, and hopefully up to 4 people will flood the chat ready to receive my incredible gaming skills. And if they're not impressed by that, then hopefully they will be impressed by this. Turn the lights red.
Okay, red it is.
Thank you very, very, very much indeed for watching, everybody. This has been emotional. I will see you very soon. And this has been my first ever stream. Thank you very much for joining, John. Thank you, Greg. You've probably moved on by now to something more interesting. I'll catch you all later. Thank you so much.